MSP Summit, September 2025 by Channel Partners in Orlando. Great event, big event, really enjoyed it. Had 13 great conversations with vendors and MSPs. Really well attended, well organized. I love working with Bob and the team there. The first interview was with Greg Talone from Cloud IBR. Really enjoyed it. Really interesting man. I look forward to talking with Greg some more and maybe even playing some golf. Logan, of course, from Vendasta. Fascinating platform that helps MSPs. They're in another area. They're moving towards, they want to move towards MSPs to see how they can help them grow. Russ Reeder. Oh my goodness. Great MSP, XTM. Really enjoyed talking to Russ. I'm always fascinated with the growth of those large kind of master MSPs. They are master MSPs. William Rubio, of course, from Call Tower. Love working with Call Tower. He's the CRO there. They're offering a lot of areas that really MSPs need to look to expand in. Great conversation with William. Scott, of course, Scott Fuhriman from Inveri. Very great conversation. He's head of operations there, and really interesting take on what he does and how he helps MSPs, how his firm helps MSPs. Jeff Hill from Stellar Cyber. Really like talking to Jeff. He's Bulldog. He's really interesting insights. Conversation went by really quickly. Great conversation with Jeff. Ryan Stoner, who I have known for a long time. He's now with Judy Security, doing really great things, helping MSPs. Zan Stevenson. Very interesting. We opened the conversation up with just finance and where he thought he was lacking, and really dove into it and can help people in it. Has great insight right all over, to what he does now in networking and helping MSPs. Niels, yes, Niels was great too. He loves fixing things. He buys broken things and fixes them, just has an engineering mind, and how Keep It can help MSPs grow and help protect their clients. Great conversation with Neil. Paul, of course, Mander from Optery. Great conversation with Paul. The whole area, social engineering. I knew very little about this. I know a little bit more, but he's here to help MSPs. Jackie Robinson, of course, from, Anunta, right? From Connecticut, the state that I'm from. Great insight on how to help MSPs with their great desktop as a service. Michelle Raguso McBain, my longtime friend, been asking her to be on the podcast for years. She's now with a company called Red Access, doing great things there. Always love talking to Michelle. Great insight, great spirit, great energy. I just can't say enough great things about Michelle. And then lastly, of course, Cale Eisenberg, great company from Vercom. We're doing a lot of work with Vercom. Cale's got great insight. I've known Cale for 5 or 6 years now. We kind of touched base a while ago, but came back now. We have a lot of friends in common. We start off with a very interesting subject of barbershop quartets. He's a 2025 champion, and bring it right into helping MSPs with security and email security and other great services Vercom has. Great time there at the MSP Summit. Thanks so much. Hi, I'm Joey Pinz, and here's my 45-second introduction. After starting my business in the 90s, I started developing poor habits of eating in my diet because of working way too much. I found myself at 340 pounds. The doctor told me if I don't lose the weight, I'm not going to see my daughter graduate. I took the next 7 months, lost 130 pounds. People ask me, how'd you do it? What's the secret? I need to lose weight. How'd you do it? How did I lose the weight? Just one word: discipline. I've had other successes in life, and I attribute them all to discipline. Now, I'm not the king of discipline, but I believe that it can help all of us. Friends convinced me to start a podcast. The podcast mission: how do we better ourselves and society? I talk to interesting people in health, fitness, sport, wellness, business, technology, science, art, and culture. And I eventually asked them how discipline plays a role in their life. Podcast vision: growth through learning from others.
How long have you been doing ATV riding?
Probably about 6 years.
Really?
Yeah.
it looks fun as hell, but it can be dangerous, like anything, right?
It can be, yeah. Yeah, if you're not careful, yeah, it can. Especially the bigger we have pretty big sizable ones.
Really?
Yeah, so if you roll them,
That's the thing. You could roll them,
Yeah.
right? And then,
people get hurt.
I mean, in Salt Lake City, Utah, there's beautiful mountains. I mean, oh God, it must be great.
Yeah, it is. We just went several weeks ago up to one of our favorite spots, and you can ride like 200 miles. Like we'll do like a 3-day trip.
Wow.
We're just like riding.
3 days.
Yeah.
Do you camp?
We'll base out of a nearby little town,
I say.
and then each day we'll
I say.
go in different directions. So there's like 1,600 miles of trail.
Wow, that is so fun. But I mean, the opposite of that, Scott, is of course theater. You like theater as well.
Yeah.
Do you like to act, or you like to?
No, just watching.
I say.
And that kind of maybe an escape.
Right.
Watching a different form of watching TV, I guess.
Yes, live.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you go? Is there a big theater scene there, Salt Lake City?
Yeah, we just went and watched a group called 1964, The Tribute, and it's actually a reenactment of the Beatles from 1964.
Oh, when it came to Ed Sullivan.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
JFK. Yeah.
So actually just performed that like a week ago. I went to that
Wow.
outdoor amphitheater, and it was pretty phenomenal. Just like the recreation, the instruments are period pieces. The lead of the band actually makes them.
Wow.
So yeah, really impressive.
Very
And
cool.
then they act like the individuals.
Oh, that's really fun. Yeah. Have you been to Broadway? You ever go to New York City?
Yeah, been there. Got what was it? I don't remember the name. One of the long time.
Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, I've seen them there. And then there's it was. That's what it was. It was the last showing. Phantom at the New York Broadway. So that was kind of fun.
It is nice. It's gotten very expensive.
Yes.
But it's nice.
I think
Yeah.
I've seen it like 3 times.
Have you really?
So, yeah.
And no inkling to participate.
No, I've never had. I don't know if I have those jobs. So.
I don't either. Yeah. To perform like that. I mean, we all perform in a way, but to perform like that, like, now here's your marks, hit it. That's the whole discipline there.
Yeah, some of those. Truly professional.
Yes.
Life
Talented.
is dedicated,
Yeah.
and then the talent across dancing, singing, acting, whatnot. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, very, very impressive. So, Scott, we're here at the MSP Summit in Orlando in mid-September. What are some of your goals this week?
Goals this week are to get out and meet MSP and MSSP providers and have conversations with them and understand kind of what their needs are, and then obviously for us in particular, focus in conversations about cybersecurity.
And so how does your company Inveri help them? Help MSPs?
Yeah, great question. So Inveri,
Excuse me.
yeah, that's all right. Inveri provides a runtime integrity capability that essentially helps detect hidden attacks that historically, like my entire 25 years of cybersecurity, we couldn't detect before. So the technology was created by the NSA, and they used it for a number of years in classified programming. They had such effectiveness with it after years of research and whatnot that they decided, hey, we need to get this technology into the commercial market so that we can help protect the organizations against these kinds of attacks that are happening.
So, Scott, it sounds like this is left of boom.
Very interesting. Yes, it does sound that way. But really, this technology can be used left of boom, during boom, and right of boom.
Wow.
In various mechanisms and ways. So I have been on the MSP side, MSSP side. Back in 2004, long before the market looked looks like the way it does today, with massive amounts of service providers providing cybersecurity and lots of technology. I wish I would have had this technology. Incident response, during recovery efforts, and just preventative as well. Being able to know very early on when something is going wrong with the system. And ultimately, one of the big value props to MSPs as a service provider, where you have paying customers with a certain degree of expectation that you're going to help protect them. And the types of attacks that we're talking about are largely in-memory attacks, and the tooling even today is not sufficient for detecting these attacks.
Wow.
So we've always struggled with rootkits and APTs and other forms of advanced malware that ultimately get underneath our security layer and can actually evade and even disable those technologies that are actually protecting us.
Wow.
And not being able to see those attacks is a big problem.
And you say it was created at the NSA? How come?
We don't necessarily know all the reasonings. They're not always forthcoming with every reason. But a good example is in 2020, there was a rootkit that hit. It was out of Russia, and the NSA and FBI actually had to come out and let the industry know that this was out there.
Wow.
Nothing but this technology could detect it.
Very interesting. So I'm a former MSP, this guy, and I talk to MSPs every day. The things that keep them up are pretty consistent last 5-6 years. Number one being cybersecurity. They're worried about their clients getting attacked, because if they get attacked, they're going to have to allocate more resources. They're flat rate. They're going to lose money. They're probably going to get fired.
Turnover.
They're probably going to get sued. They may even get sued. Yes. Number two is human capital. If their major techs leave, how are they going to replace them? How are they going to get new? Unemployment here in the States in IT is 1%. And then, of course, last is just general growth. PE has poured in hundreds of millions of dollars. They want to learn how to grow organically. Their friends are selling their MSPs. How can they do that? It seems that you can help in all three.
Absolutely. Number one, we've developed a partner program because of my background in developing products and services and bringing them to market. As on the side of the MSP and MSSP, I understand their perspective. And so being in their seat, so to speak, I think I have a pretty unique understanding of how we can help them increase their revenue with great margins. So we have a really strong partner program that gives them a lot of flexibility to create or add this capability into their existing security stack. And that's one differentiator too, is just to hit on really quick, is we're not here to replace the existing security stack.
Interesting.
So, whatever the vendor is that they're using for like endpoint protection, we're not here to displace that. What we're here to do is help provide value and assurance that those systems are functioning as they should and are not being tampered with, modified, or bypassed essentially. So there's we understand the revenue. Everybody likes to have more revenue, but there's actively growing your existing revenues, but there's also protecting your revenue. And so by ensuring that you're protecting with whatever security stack you have, but I would be awake and worried at night, like I have customers paying for me to protect them. What if this type of an attack, which is actually becoming very common, even in ransomware now, subverts all the security systems I have? Like, what does that make me look like to my customer? And then you go into the churn problem and the legal issues that you mentioned. So this gives that added layer of assurance that nothing is underneath your system, making those other systems that those customers of the MSP are investing in and expecting to work. And those tools do great things, but if you don't protect this underlying part of the system, which again, we're talking 30 years of not having a protection mechanism here. We can actually change the tide of the attacker being able to be successful.
Wow. But an MSP, Scott, MSP they got their back to the wall, right? They're worried about these attacks. There are so many players, so many great vendors out there with a security solution. How should they decide? What questions should they be asking them when choosing to partner with one?
Yeah. So, like I said, the security tools that are out there, I'm a big believer, to be honest, that if you select one of the leading security tool providers, a lot of them do similar things, and it's maybe not so much about selecting the right one. It's about ensuring that you understand that technology and that you have the proper support resources to support it. And, in relation to what we're talking about today, I think, what's important to ask is, how are you preventing against those tools being bypassed? And you can go look up very easily online about the frequency of that happening, and it's happening very regularly. So I think making sure that you have an answer to that. How do I protect my organization as an MSP, MSSP provider, but also ultimately, how do I provide that value to the customer so that they're getting the protection? Again, at the end of the day, we're talking about protecting the privacy of their data,
right?
The availability of their systems.
So what other solutions, what other security layers should be put on top of yours that an MSP should have?
Yeah, definitely we believe the endpoint protection, CrowdStrike, SentinelOnes, Microsoft Defender, go down the list, those types of tools,
right.
Sophos, whatnot. A SIM is very important as well, where you're correlating all of your alerts and information into one central location, whether it's, and that could be a combination of different things, log aggregation, SIM tool itself. Obviously, that's moving very heavily towards AI and that, which is fine. But again, we're talking about something very fundamental that if you don't address, that entire security stack is at risk. The attacker can lie to the logs, which then make the SIM ineffective. So, but regardless of that, all those technologies are very important. Configuration management, CNAP solutions, where it's checking your configurations and making sure you don't have a misconfiguration that exposes information. So you're right. There are lots of tools. I think one of the things you have to evaluate is what are the ones that are going to be most effective for the amount of risk reduction that an organization is looking for, right? And there's other ones too, right? Anti-spam and phishing, prevention, MFA, and the list goes on and on and on.
Sure does.
So there is a lot, but without those stacks of solutions, you're exposed, especially today, because all of those forms are being exploited by attackers.
What should vendors do? MSP vendors, what should they do to be better partners for MSPs?
Oh, that's a great question. I think helping enable the MSPs is very, very important. Being there for them, helping them learn the technology that's being provided, and being a resource to them both in the sales cycle, in the support cycle, and even in the how do I make money off of you, right? Help me understand that. So any of those ways that you can help enable the MSP or MSSP to be successful is ultimately going to help make the vendor successful.
Yeah, it sure is. So I started my MSP in the 90s, Scott, and I was working way too hard, and 14, 16-hour days. You're no stranger to that. And not eating properly. I was exercising less, terrible, So I'm in front of the doctor. She tells me I'm at 340 pounds. So I had gained an incredible amount of weight. Yeah. 47-inch waist, So she says to me, if you don't lose this weight, you're not going to see your daughter graduate. My daughter was just born. Scared the life out of me, right? So I'm driving home, upset with myself. What have I done? I can abuse myself all I want, right? But I have it's much bigger than me. So I spent the next 6-7 months, lost about 120 pounds and kept it off. You can't look at these things as a finishing line, right? You've got to it's lifelong changes. So when I tell this story, they always say, how'd you do it? What's your secret? And I say, there's no secret. Discipline, right? Just focus, willpower, routine. How does discipline play a role in your life, Scott?
For me, I would apply it to my career very, very much the same. Like I remember starting out a long time ago as just a PC tech, and at the time I remember being surrounded by my coworkers at the time and just being flooded with too much information. Like how am I going to understand all of this stuff? And there's technology is so broad and can be so deep. So it was very overwhelming, and the discipline of like self-studying and being in the field and learning and watching, finding a mentor, right, that I can learn from and really focus on what are they doing good, and having them help me and guide me, and those kind of things. And then, like you said, I think there's a saying, and I'm probably not going to remember it well, but like consistency every day over a long period of time moves significantly from where you started, right? So I think that diligence and being committed and constantly in a learning mode and doing that day in and day out, it's a multiplier. It's a knowledge multiplier. It's an effort multiplier, because before long, a year, 2, 5, 15, you look like the amount that you know and what you've gained is just astronomical compared to where you started.
I heard a quote recently, Scott, Confucius, and I'm paraphrasing, but it doesn't matter how slow you go as long as you don't stop.
Yeah, just consistent forward momentum. Sometimes we get sidetracked, or sometimes we feel like we get stopped. We just get back up and keep moving forward. And I think that in all aspects of life, actually, like that's applicable across family, friends, and work, whatever you're involved with. Anything you want to become great at, that's what it takes.
So your message, I know you guys have a booth here, correct?
Yes.
Your message, it opens up shortly. Your message to MSPs this week is what?
Our message is take what you have and let us help you get greater peace of mind in securing a layer that fundamentally just has never been addressed. And it's absolutely critical today and for tomorrow that we get this layer secured. And it's been, my entire career without having this addressed. And you're essentially leaving the door open to attackers if you don't address it. And it circumvents and undermines all the dollars spent on all the other tools that are also necessary. But it's that simple to be undermined and essentially neutralize your security and your security posture. So we want to fix that. We want to help MSPs and also organizations, and we know that MSPs are a great a great way to help them get this out into the commercial market and all the organizations.
Well, Scott, I thank you for your time today. Anybody wants to get in touch with you, how can they do so?
Yeah, they can email me at scott@inveri.com or visit our website, www.inveri.com.
Scott, thanks so much. Have a great show.
Great, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening and or viewing Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations. Please share this episode with one or two of your friends who you think may benefit from the episode. Our website, www.joeypins.com. There you'll find lots of resources and you could join our mailing list. Please follow us on all our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Podcast information, the video version of our podcast is on YouTube. Please subscribe. Audio is on all major podcasting platforms. Please follow them. And if you like it, please consider giving 5-star rating. Would really appreciate that. Thank you again for listening or watching Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations.